Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be living in a world without religion at all, you know? I've thought about it quite a lot, and I'm thinking, like, we all know the same old story. There's lots of wars in the world being blamed on religion. We know that's a fact. That's not really up for conjecture. It's quite an established historical record. But uh, what about down to the personal level? Like the way that religion affects people's viewpoint and worldview, and just the way that their thinking process. Like I'm 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 quite amazed. I have to say, since I've left religion, I'm quite amazed by just how superstitious this human race is. Absolutely superstitious. Incredible. To the point where we criticize the tribe in, like, deepest, darkest Africa, or the Papua New Guinean tribe, or whatever, some remote race of people, and we look at them with their superstitions and their habits and the way that they have their statues and all that kind of thing, and they worship the statues. Well, we're no fucking different. We're no fucking different. Absolutely no fucking different at all. You think about it. People base their view of the world on what it says in a book. I'm talking about the book, of course. The book that we all know about. I mean, and fine if it affects the way that you view the world, but it goes further than that. It actually affects the way that you think other people should live their lives. If you think that you should live your life by a particular book and a set of precepts and concepts and that kind of thing, well, fine. Excuse me for one sec. But to impose that kind of worldview and those stipulations and restrictions and limitations and criticisms upon other free people, it's just mind-boggling. We look at the record of tribes, and, like I said, remote tribes untouched by the Western civilization for so long and that kind of thing, and we think, oh, how barbaric to do that. They sacrifice this. They sacrifice someone out because they believe that their god needs appeasing, so they sacrifice someone. And yet here in the Western world, we'll put people's freedom and happiness and their right to live an unfettered life, as they see fit, as long as they're not hurting anyone else. We'll sacrifice those very precepts, those fundamental rights. We'll sacrifice them upon the altar of our superstition. Now, I'm talking about, in particular, springs to mind, gay marriage. Gay marriage. So for two uh, great people, two fine, upstanding citizens of society, they happen to be the same sex. Oh, they happen to be the same sex. They love each other. They like to live their life together. I mean, they're living together anyway. They're not hurting anyone. They're fine, upstanding citizens. Many great businessmen, great, professional tradesmen, parents even. And yet we say, because of our particular worldview, which generally stems from a particular book, well, therefore, we're not going to let you. We're not even going to think about you getting married. We're not going to allow it. It's mind-boggling. I've got to be, like, I've just got to mention it to you. How the hell is that fair? How the hell is that fair? And how is it? Forget religious views and forget conflicting opinions and all that kind of thing. We're human. That's always going to be the case. Everybody's entitled to their own ridiculous opinion. But at what point do we stop imposing views upon other people's right to live their life the way they see fit, as long as they're not harming anyone else? Now, there's a point of view that people say that, well, if a gay couple want to raise a child, well, that child's view of the world is going to be tainted. Well, I think that's total bullshit. But anyway, where let's look back at rapists and pedophiles and all kinds of deviants. Let's look back at the statistics. Let's look back at the statistics. Would we have to find out for sure then that most of those people have obviously come from same-sex relationships? No, I don't think that would be the case for one fucking moment. Okay? They came from normal heterosexual relationships, marriages, whatever, and have chosen for whatever reason, I won't even, it's a different subject. And yet, we say that, oh no, we can't let these two gay people bring up a child because it'll turn into a monster. Or words to that effect. Of course, we don't say that. But it'll taint their life. Well, I think the only thing that worrying about being tainted is the ease with which we like to just impose our worldview on other people. It's an easy thing. We can just it's going to taint. It's going to impose and impinge upon our sense of freedom. That's what it is. That's what we worry about. Don't. Let's not confuse the fact. We have to go back a few generations when we look at the black and the white issue. A white woman couldn't marry a black man, and a black man, obviously, a black woman couldn't marry a white man. Now we look back at that and we think, how barbaric. Oh, you might go to some places in the south of the United States, they probably still hold to that view. I've got no doubts there at all. But in general, the Western world, including the United States, they would look at that and say, no, that's an absolute infringement of human rights. It's not acceptable, not even remotely acceptable. And we look at couples that are happily married, white man and a black woman, or vice versa, and we think, and they have children that are crossed, or even let's go even to another facet. How about different nationalities? An Australian with an Italian, Iranian with a Chinese woman, whatever. That kind of thing was also frowned upon, and still is obviously in some sectors of society. But like I'm talking about the general accepted, reasonable view of the world, and we would say that no, that's fine. That's to be encouraged. It's enriching to a culture. If you mix other cultures in with that, you have different cultural influences. Of course, we'd say that that's a healthy state of affairs. And yet we somehow we divorce that kind of rational thinking when it comes to a same-sex marriage. Now I'm flabbergasted and I'm appalled, and I'm just my mind. It's mind-boggling how intelligent people, and I'm not saying that, not reprobates, intelligent people can come to that kind of a conclusion. And I know where it comes from. It comes from religious fear, religious bigotry, and just that innate sense of superiority that often stems from the Western world, the you know Judeo-Christian, Christian view of the world. That listen, we've got, and then let's not stop it there. Obviously, the Muslim world, they think the same thing. Okay, you're not safe anywhere in the world. So it's this religious sense of superiority, and a belief that we're able to just, if we have that particular stance, we're able to impose that with impunity, impose that upon someone else, another free member of society. It's disgraceful, and I'll never stop being outspoken about it. Anyway, thanks for your time. My name's John, by the way. I'll be putting a post on every now and then, probably weekly, by the way, and I'll just be commenting on certain things that I think are worth commenting on. All right, top of the morning to you. Have a great day. Bye. I've got to reach over. It's not very perfect. I've got to reach over there and press my little finger there. Okay, bye now.